to talk on because of the fact that this subject has I think handicapped so many people for so long because it is such it doesn't yell, it doesn't scream, it doesn't say I demand that you do this. It says here's what it is and here's what it takes. Either you do it or you don't do it. If you don't do it, I'm not going to lose any sleep. This is what this subject kind of talks to us and tells us in so many words. And if we don't embrace it, we'll spend a lot of time and won't be anywhere close to where we should be by a certain time. And we'll achieve some certain things, and we'll get through the day, or get through the week, or get through the month, or get through the year, or get through the next 5 years. We can do a lot of the ordinary things, but we don't embrace this one word, we're not going to do anything extraordinary. Anything that's you're going to write a book about. It's going to be a normal life, and a normal life is not a bad life. Okay, let me just kind of put that out as it's a good life, but it's not extraordinary. We're not going to be able to go out there and do a lot of things for a lot of other people if we don't embrace this one word that we're going to talk about here today for the next few minutes. And when I started thinking about this and doing a little, put some things together, there's not a whole lot of content because this word is what it is, and it takes what it takes. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't sit there and deliberate. Do you really want to do this, Ricky? Okay, it doesn't plead with me. It doesn't plead with you. It is what it is, and it takes what it takes. Either we do it, or we embrace it, or we don't. And I think on some level, we've all embraced it. I guess y'all are saying, Ricky, what is it? I mean, why don't you just, what is it? Well, it's the power of consistency. And it's unlocking growth, trust, and personal success. And I think the word unlocking is a very appropriate word for this word consistency because I believe in a real sense, it's locked. It has a lock on, and the lock is in our mind. And we have to decide to put the key in and unlock this thing that's going to unleash a lot of other things in terms of growth and trust and personal success. The reason why I say personal success because everybody has a different definition of what success is to you, what it is to me, what it is to Terry, what it is to Mark Daniels, what it is to Rick, what it is to Norman, what it is to Bessie Harris, what it is to anybody else on the call today. We all have different definitions of what it means. So I want you to think about this. Why does it matter so much? And I pulled this little quote up. And success doesn't come from what we do occasionally, every now and then, but from what we do consistently is what brings whatever that personal level of success is. One of the things that I like to do, and I'm going to kind of be redundant on some of the things that I'm going to talk about today, is I like to exercise on a regular basis. I like to do push-ups. I like to do wall squats, where you sit on the wall like there's a chair under you, but there's no chair. And it's not easy to do, even for 30 seconds. It's not easy to do, but I like doing it. When I get up, I feel good. I feel just revived. It helps the blood pressure. Just wall squats, simple things. Well, not simple, but being consistent is the part that's not easy to do. Dental, brushing your teeth, flossing on a regular basis. When I go to the dentist, there's not a whole lot they have to do because I floss every day, very seldom. I mean, every day. It's consistency. And so it's not what we do, team, every now. And this is going to be a real general presentation here today. It's what we do all the time. It becomes a way of life. And if we think about the things that we need to do to achieve levels of success and do an evaluation on how often we're doing these things, we might be surprised and we might find the answer to the shortcoming or coming up short of the goal. The next important thing I want to talk to you about is the benefits of consistency. And this is not going to be anything profound or prolific, but there are some basic things. Number one, it builds strong habits. And I think habits are in the same habits and consistency is like Siamese twins. If I don't have the habits, I'm not going to be consistent. If I have a habit of doing this or this or this or this every day, it's almost like it's automatic. I don't have to think about it. When I get in my car, I have a habit of putting on my seatbelt, just unconsciously. If I don't put it in reverse, I'm not gonna leave the driveway. So I got a habit of putting it in reverse. I got a habit of putting it in drive. I got a habit of watching the road while I'm driving without even thinking. It's a habit because it keeps me safe. It's a habit because it gets me from my present place to my destination. And I have every belief I'm gonna get to my destination because I'm doing the same thing. I know different routes to get there. Sometimes I go 3 different routes to my mother's house, so I'm down there almost every day now because of her condition with dementia. So I go the interstate, or I go through Auburn, or I go around. It's a habit. But every time I leave, because I do it so often unconsciously, you know where I arrive? In her yard. It's a habit. The second important benefit is enhanced productivity. I don't think any of us get involved, particularly in this business or anything as far as that concerned, just to be unproductive. We get involved in what we get involved with because we want to see movement. We want to see growth. We want to see what I've done today has caused me to be here tomorrow. We want to see growth. I'm thinking about getting another cell phone because my cell phone now is acting. I don't know what it's doing. So I'm thinking about getting another iPhone, the bigger one. Okay. Well, it may be because they want me to get one. And maybe sometimes your mind think, well, they messing my cell phone up because they want me to buy another one. Well, guess what? It's about to work. Okay, because I'm finna get me another one. So because I want to see when I set an appointment in my calendar, I want it to be there, not 5 minutes later. I don't want it to be, not ringing sometimes and all this because I want consistency. I want productivity. And that rule applies in everything that we do. Number three is it fosters trust. You see, I know all of us have dealt with people, have people in our lives right now that's very inconsistent. As a result of that, we can't trust what they say because 5 out of 10 times they ain't gonna do what they say they're gonna do. Sometimes 7 out of 10 times they ain't gonna do what they say they're gonna do. So just think about how this sounds. I was watching a movie at mom's house on yesterday. She likes to watch animals and kids and with kids and animal funny movies. So this movie was on where this son had a father, mother and father. The mother and father was so busy where they didn't spend any time with the child. So the child got a phone call from his dad, and the dad says, we're gonna do this today, and come on down to the office, son. God, come on down. Dad, Dad, really? You sure? Yes, son. Today is your day. Like we're going fishing, we're going this, going that. So son gets down to the father's job. He gets on his bike, rides up to the job real quick, as fast as he can, gets down there, and the dad is still working. The dad got a phone call from the president of the bank. He was a banker, and there was a big something came up, and the dad was on the phone, and the son's in the office waiting, but the dad didn't keep his word. He told his son another time, son, this, when this is all over, when I finish these phone calls, it's me and you, buddy. When I finish these phone calls, buddy, it's me and you. Well, he finished the phone calls, and the calls went on and on and on and on. He said, I'm sorry, buddy, we just can't do it today. Went to his mom, the same thing. Son, you got to understand, this is how you have this nice house and this and that and this and that. So at one point, the son got pretty defiant and said, what's the use? You always say you're going to do something and you never do it. Told the mother that. The dad came in and he said, and you He jumped on his dad, you know. You always said, I'm leaving here. I'm never coming back again. This guy like 13 years old. And I'm never coming back again because the word, he didn't keep his word. So the son could not trust what the father said. And the mother, and you got to understand, that's a rough situation. So trust is very important. It fosters trust. Number four, it drives improvement. You see, sometimes we wonder how people get better and better and better, and we're going to talk about this a little bit as well, is because they practice. Our church owns a community development center, and there's a guy that rents the center for kids in the community, you know, young kids that in the community. And this guy that rents the center played professional basketball. So he wants to kind of, I guess, give back to the community because he it's a camp. He does camps, and he gets paid for doing that too because he's not doing this stuff for free. But he gets paid for doing that as well. But anyway, my point is the kids come in and they develop. The kids come in and they learn. The kids come in and they improve. They improve the set shot. They improve dribbling with the left and with the right. They improve the stop and go. They improve all the things that's necessary to to be productive in the game of basketball. The reason the parents pay this fee for these camps is because they want the kids to get better. They're not paying this money for this camp for these kids just to get rid of these kids. Y'all just get out of my hair. No, they want the kids to get better. It drives improvement. That's the benefit of consistency. And then number five, it achieves long-term goal. You see, I I've been doing this now for over 3 decades. This is what I decided to do with my life to take care of my family and to be financially secure. This is what I decided to do for my family. Okay. And I thank God that we hung in here and we got it. We did it. We're not at the pinnacle, but by God's grace, we've done well, particularly from where I come from. We have zero debt. We have a mortgage by choice. We don't have to have a mortgage. We don't. It's incredible. Had I stayed on my job, just on a job, and I went into business, I would not be able to say what I'm saying to you today. Out of God's grace and mercy, He gave me a mind to stick with it. No, I wasn't Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan of this business. I wasn't Kobe Bryant, you know. But the thing of it is, I was consistent. Just like a lot of you on this call today, you were consistent over the long term. I mentioned to you 3 decades. That's a long time to stick with one thing and not have a desire to do anything else to make a living. Why? Because we can decide on how far we want to go, what we want to make in terms of income. And also we've learned how to manage money and invest money and put money back with brokerage accounts and so on and so forth, and be an S corp and be your own business, pay yourself, work for yourself. All these things will learn from being here over the long term. You see, what hurts a lot of people, and this is kind of sad, is they get involved, and again, I'm gonna be real general here, and I want you to fill in it because I'm gonna probably post this as well, so it can be used generally. They get involved in this business here, and it doesn't happen in the morning. It doesn't happen by the next 7 days. Although it didn't take 3 decades anymore, you can do what took 3 decades now in 3 years. That's incredible because of all the technological breakthroughs and all the different things that's available now. Doesn't take that long now. But people's patience has gotten so thin, and they want a microwave result. They don't want to crock pot it. They don't want to run a marathon. They want to sprint to success. You can sprint to district, but you ain't gonna sprint to anything very noteworthy in 90 days. It takes time. It's long term, and that's the benefit of being consistent. Another important thing I want to talk to you about is some real life issues. Now, what I'm going to show you here now, It's something I just had a conversation with some friends of mine the other day, and I'm gonna just kind of give you an idea. I'm gonna call this the 65 advice. You may be saying, Rick, what do you mean? Are you 65 years old? Not yet, but in about 3 more years, I will be. Isn't that amazing? I said, I'm getting all this stuff now from what these people that send you all this stuff in the mail when they see you heading towards 62 and 65. I can't think of it. Anyway, they send you all this stuff now. Join this, join that. I said, man, I'm getting to the Social Security age. Ain't that something? Time is moving on. So anyway, the 65 advice. I want to show you 5,086 and the word live. And I'm gonna show you what all those means, what all those different things mean. That's something I've been wanting to do for a period of time, and I've been avoiding what's necessary to get it done. I guess I've been waiting on, I don't know, a silver bullet. I've been waiting on somebody to tell me, uh, do this for 2 days and you got it, or do this for 5 days and you can get it done. I've been waiting on someone. You see, and sometimes that's the problem. We're waiting on a confirmation or an affirmation from somebody that's a shortcut. Because they said it, maybe I can do that way. No, I hate to make this announcement to everybody today. There's no shortcut for the work. There's no confirmation, affirmation that's magical and mystical. It is what it is, and it takes what it takes. It depends on what we want to get done, but it is what it is, and it takes what it takes. Now, let me tell you what this means. This 5,080 and 6 in live. I was talking to Mark Daniels and his wife Kelsey. After Mark did the presentation last Saturday, it was an extremely good presentation. We broke that down. So I called him, and we went into. He told me what he's doing now, and he has a system that he does, and that's his system, and it had gotten him some great results to the tune of well over $500,000 a year. And so that's a very powerful system. Then I talked to his wife Kelsey the next, I think, Monday, about the Series 65, and she just passed her exam. So congratulations again to you on that, Kelsey. Well, I said, Mark, I'm calling to talk to Kelsey to find out what, I talked to Mark about something else. And he says, well, you need to talk to Kelsey. She just took the exam, she passed it. I said, well, yeah, I need to talk to Kelsey. So I called her Monday. Here's what she said. 5,086 in live. 5,000 study questions. She read 5,000. Well, took enough tests to cover 5,000 questions. She studied for 80 hours of study for 6 weeks. And she did the live Kaplan classes online. Now, team, when she told me that, it wasn't a long conversation. I took notes during the conversation. I said, well, you know what? Let me say this to you. That just really set me free. Now, I might have to go a different location, meaning I might go to the home office and do a class in person. I might not do it online. Um, the distractions around me at the house and everything else might not allow me to. Then again, it might. Okay, but there are going to be different locations, different routes to the top of that mountain, but every route requires climbing. Okay, I'm not gonna get on an airplane and fly to the top of the mountain. I'm not gonna get on a helicopter and just copper my way to the top of the mountain. I'm not gonna prepare for this Series 65 by watching a YouTube video. 2 of those a day. It's gonna take study. It's gonna take preparation. It is what it is, and it takes what it takes. Okay, 5,000 questions. That's what she did. 8 hours of study for 6 weeks, and live classes on Kaplan that was online. She said when she sat down and took the exam, she did it like in less time than it took, things like an hour and a half. And she said the exam was not hard as a study. She prepared so good and so well that when she sat down to take the Series 65, it wasn't a really big deal. I was like, wow, is this it? You see, I think the problem with being inconsistent is this. We flunk, we fail, we flunk, we fail 15 times, 10 times, because we uh, have a hard time accepting that it is what it is and it takes what it takes. Now, will we still fail on occasions? Of course we will. But I won't fail with a guilty conscience that I didn't study. I won't fail with a guilty conscience that I didn't prepare and I wasn't consistent in my study. It's no shortcut, team. And the quicker we embrace consistency, whatever your level of personal success is, again, everybody's different. The quicker we'll achieve that level of personal success that we're running after. We got to stop wasting time because time doesn't deliberate with me. Time doesn't feel sorry for me. Time marches on. The next important thing I want to talk to you about is some other regular routines that has to be consistent. Walks and exercise for good health. It has to be scheduled. You know what I've learned, team? I've learned this, okay? What gets scheduled gets done. If we don't schedule it, put it in the calendar, it's probably not going to get done. You know why? Because so many other things are vying for our time, competing for our time. So schedule. My wife and I walk, okay, and I exercise on a regular basis, okay. The next important thing that has to be a consistency: investing for financial growth. I don't like maxing out my solo 401k every year, maxing it out. I don't like putting all this money in annuities, personal. I don't necessarily like it. I don't like the other thing that I do. I don't like paying taxes. Okay. I don't like having to connect my CPA to my QuickBooks. I don't like reconciliation of the books. I don't like a lot of stuff, but I like the results. I like to get it done in January, not wait till March 15th. I like the fact that my CPA can go into my books and look at my P&L statement, look at the balance sheet, can look at all that from the hustle. All they're connected to it. I like the fact that my CPA is familiar with the company's pay system. I like the fact that my CPA is not a plug and play. They ask me questions that make me think about other deductions. I like the fact that they make me think like a businessman. I like being consistent in that area. I like consistently not overpaying in taxes because I'm overlooking deductions that I should not overlook. I like the fact that I got enough sense not to try to do my own taxes. Okay. I'm not that crazy trying to do my own. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So investing for financial growth, it takes consistency. Number 3 is practice, drill, and rehearse for mastery. We've started something on the team for Tuesdays and Thursday morning. It's called All In Call. It's an all in call. All in call. Right now, it's only 3 people on that call. Well, actually, it's 4 people on that call right now. And we have more than 4 on our team, more than 4 licensed, but all of them can't plug in at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday and Thursday morning. During the all-in call, we're doing drill for skill. We have the members in that call to go over to do one page and take 2 minutes to do one page. It take a minute and a half or 1 minute to do one page. So we can see how well they're doing on that one page. Is it a whole lot of content on one page? Are they talking too long, or are they hid and humming, or are they what's going on there? So it's an evaluation of the presentation, one page at a time. It will also cover some other basic business fundamentals for this all-in group. Now, one thing that I know about the all-in group As much as I want the all-in group to stay all in, that all stay all in, my experience tells me that's probably not going to happen. Can it happen? Yes. Do they all have the ability? Yes. Do I believe in all of them? Yes. Do I think they all can go to RVP? Yes. Will they do it? That remains to be seen. So I'm looking already to bring in some other people into the all-in for the ones that's going to leave. I hope they don't leave. And they on the call listening now. And I hope y'all don't leave, all right? But I love you, okay? And I appreciate you. But I'm also a realist, okay? I know that consistency wins. I know that inconsistency does not win. It doesn't win for good people. It doesn't win for, I mean, I've seen people that are consistent and terrible at what they do, but they still win. I've seen people that's inconsistent and geniuses and broke. Don't do what, you know. The next important thing is constantly seeing the good in your spouse and in your kids. I mean, team, why do we do this? Why do we inconvenience ourselves when we could just be at home watching a series of Gunsmoke, you know, westerns, and which is why I like westerns. Why be consistently inconvenient? Because we do it for our family. We do it for our wives and children, and those are the married, your husbands and your kids. We do it for the family. So it's important then to consistently appreciate your family. I appreciate my wife all the time. Okay, I ain't gonna start talking on that because I talk you know, for another 20 minutes. The next important thing in closing, and I'm gonna close it with right here. Okay, commit to small, consistent actions for lasting personal success. You see, team, this ain't something that we're gonna do and okay, I did it. I've done it. It just doesn't work that way. It takes some time. It takes a decision. It takes a made-up mind. And when the heart is fixed and the mind is made up, whatever your level of personal success is, again, we all have our definitions of what it means to us. I'm from a small town called Lochapoka, Alabama. From where I'm from, when I had a job in 1990, I was making $10 an hour. In my hometown, that was a big deal, okay? Where I didn't have any kids, I had no responsibility, I had no house, none of that. And you're gonna give me $10 every 60 minutes. I ain't gonna never leave y'all, right? I ain't. But see, I learned that wasn't a lot of money, right? But from where I come from, it was. Then I get in Primerica and see what they're doing for me, for us, and what we've been able to do here in this last, since we've been here in terms of income. What they've paid my wife and I is no comparison. But it required consistency at a certain level. Now, you see, one thing about consistency, there are levels of consistency. Maybe I played at this level. Maybe I'm playing right here, but I know I can play here. But the question is, am I willing to do them 5,000 questions, those 80 hours for 6 weeks? You see my point? So that's either a yes or that's a no. We all got to decide on the next level of growth and the next level of commitment of consistency to determine where we're going to be in the next by the convention.